One of the things that fascinates me about Bob Dylan and always has is he was a shapeshifter, probably still is a shapeshifter, and totally made shit up left and right.
Yeah.
So there's this famous introduction a couple of years before the incident where he plugged in. There's this famous incident where Bob Dylan's introduced by Pete Seeger at a folk festival. And Pete Seeger says, he tried to run away from home 9 different times, but was caught and returned. And then finally he jumped a train and came here and camped out with hobos. And here he is tonight. And everyone believed that. It later turned out to be his parents were like, well, good luck. And here's some money. And don't forget to write. Here's a cell phone.
Yeah.
Here's a credit, whatever. He had made it up.
Yeah.
And
he said he worked at, or that he worked at a carnival.
Yes.
And yeah,
he said whatever.
Part of the traveling circus, which I don't know if that's true. I don't.
But I guess I think it's part of an American tradition where William Faulkner completely made up his past. Mm-hmm. Ernest Hemingway made up stuff. Great artists invent themselves. Mm-hmm. I believe that. And they come up with all these stories. And I think Faulkner had everyone convinced that he had flown in the Royal Air Force in World War I. It's like, nope, completely untrue. He was tending a furnace, somewhere in Tennessee or something. But that it's part of the creative process in a weird way. Totally. Sometimes you hear it and you think, oh yeah, that's a sociopath. But no, that was part of his process, was inventing himself.
Yeah. Definitely. And I think even through his, obviously his songs, and he's one of the greatest writers, I think, that we have. And it is interesting, thinking about, he didn't want to kind of deal with the fuss of people judging him for his past.
Yeah.
Sure. He just was like, this is my work. I want you to judge at face value.
I thought it was hilarious when he won the Nobel Prize. And I just love that he was annoyed. I don't want to go. Where do I have to go to get it? Just annoyed by it all.
Yes.
Which would not be anyone else's reaction to winning the Nobel Prize.
Exactly. Didn't want the fuss.
Yeah.
I know. I haven't met him.
Wait, didn't you? I thought you did meet Bob Dylan.
No, I did not. I was told, no, Timothée hasn't met him either. He was involved in, Jim has met him, James Mangold, but we have not met him. I was told that I was going to have a rehearsal with Jim and Bob Dylan. Mm-hmm. And I got this email and I was like, oh my God. I was like, this is amazing. I have to pick out what I'm going to wear. I have to what am I going to say to him? What am I going to ask? I'm so excited. And I walk in the next day and it's Jim and Timmy.
Oh no.
And I was like, oh, what?
Boo.
I know.
Who wants to meet Timothée? Chalamet.
I know. I was like,
what a waste of time.
I thought it was Bob Dylan. We were laughing
Was he
over
in
that.
character the whole time or something?
No, I think it's just sometimes they do that on
He's
sets.
just being whimsical, yeah.
Well, there's, an assistant had written it down, Bob Dylan. It was both names, Bob Dylan, all caps, in bold. So maybe I should have realized.
Well, I've met him briefly. I've told I've told it before, but just because you're here and it lines up perfectly, I can do it really quickly. Backstage at a concert with my good friend and guitarist Jimmy Vivino, and we're just going to go see Bob play. I've never met him, never think I'm going to meet him, but we're just in this sort of backstage area. And then I'm pushed, literally pushed into a room and there's a bunch of people there. And then suddenly, because of the way people are moving in the room, suddenly I'm sort of spit out at the front of the room and there is Bob Dylan staring at me. And I'm right in front of him, and he's got the little tiny pencil mustache that he had during that phase where he's wearing the string ties and the little pencil mustache. And he looks at me and he goes, hey, I know you from the TV.
Whoa!
And then just then, I get interrupted by somebody who pulls my focus, who literally drags me out of my one conversation I'm going to have with Bob Dylan. And Bob Dylan skitters away.
Oh, no.
And that person was Al Gore.
Whoa.
And I've always been pissed at Al Gore ever since because literally he went, hey, I know. He said, I know you from the TV. And I'm about to go oh my God, Bob Dylan. And I'm just about to speak to him. And he's looking at me when I hear, Conan, it's me, Al Gore.
God, no.
Global warming's a reality.
Al.
It's an inconvenient truth. No. The earth is warming by 3 degrees every and I'd see Bob Dylan shrug and kind of walk away.
Man.
Did you know that?
And that was it. But he knows you.
He knows me from the TV. He didn't know my name. And it wasn't the TV, it was the TV. Accent on the T. I got to get to Chalamet and tell him that's how you pronounce TV.
Yeah. You should have told him. I saw him at a concert right before. We went at the Kings Road Theater in New York. And I saw him. And I actually, so sad. I had eaten a bad turkey sandwich. And I was like in the middle, like the concert. I'd never seen Bob Dylan live before. And I'm like, I knew I was doing the movie and Timothée was there and I just was like, oh no, I'm going to throw up. So I had to leave like halfway through. I ran out of the stadium and it's like a beautiful theater, like really kind of grand and gold. It's really pretty. Run out right next to the concession stand, like in the lobby, and I can't make it to the bathroom, just puke turkey sandwich all in the carpet.
Oh my God.
And then I was like, oh gosh. And I had to leave. And I went to the bathroom, and then when I came back, they had like a sad little like cone over my throw up, like avoid this area. I was like, no, I have to get back to the concert.
Oh, that's terrible.
I must see. I know. So darn.
Well, it was the turkey sandwich. It was not Bob that made it.
Yeah, exactly. It was the turkey sandwich.
Wow. I think you met Timmy Chalamet, but you don't even know it.
I met him right before he blew up. I went and had ice cream with him.
What was that like? What was he like?
He was cool.
Yeah.
I mean, he was like a young kid. Yeah. I mean, he was talking. He at that point had already been in was Interstellar the one with Matthew McConaughey?
Yes.
Yeah, he was in that movie already. Yes. But he had a small part in it. Mm-hmm. And, I think everyone was like, you're gonna do great. Yeah. You'll be great.
And I remember...
And then Call Me By Your Name came out.
Yeah, you sat him down, I think, and said, look, you should try comedy because... acting's not your thing, and you'll try comedy, and maybe you could be like half a Conan O'Brien one day. Remember when you said that?
I did. I was like, I don't know, comedy seems like it would be a better fit for you than drama.
And he's like, I'm going to show these two people.
Yeah.
You made him.
Yeah, we did make him. It's because of us.
Have you ever noticed
your villain origin story?
That's right. Yeah.
Do you know what he has written on his hand? Conan is wrong.
Well, I wrote that on my hand as well.
Yeah, I've seen it. Yours says is fucking wrong.
Yeah, I think we all do. I think all 5 of us.
I just had it tattooed.